The Indiana Fever just dropped training camp footage that has the entire WNBA asking the same question. Is this even fair? Caitlin Clark is pulling up from the logo like it's a layup. Aliyah Boston is catching lobs she never could before. And the new pieces, Nneka Ogwumike, Sophie Cunningham, Raven Johnson, are moving like they've been playing together for years, not weeks. The chemistry is undeniable. The talent is overwhelming. And after watching this footage, one thing is clear. The rest of the league should be terrified.
I mean, they were amazing and just really thankful to be able to come back here and appreciate this place and these fans. And I mean, it was as loud as it gets when we went on that 8-0 run to start the game. So just thankful.
They do continue to show up. How important was it for you to showcase this to your Indiana Fever teammates, that this is special?
The Indiana Fever just released training camp footage, and the internet has lost its collective mind. Let me describe what you see in the video, because words don't do it justice. Clark catches the ball at half court. Not near half court, at half court. A defender is in her face, close, physical, the way teams have guarded her since college. Clark doesn't hesitate. She rises up. From the logo, swish. The gym erupts. Teammates jump off the bench. Coaches shake their heads in disbelief. But that's just the first clip. The next sequence shows Clark running a pick and roll with Aliyah Boston. Boston sets the screen. Clark turns the corner. The defense collapses. Clark jumps, but she's not shooting. She's passing. A no-look, over-the-shoulder, one-handed whip to Boston rolling to the rim. Boston catches it, lays it in. The defense never had a chance. Then comes the sequence that has fans hitting the replay button over and over. Clark pushes the ball in transition. Two defenders try to cut her off. She stops on a dime. Behind-the-back dribble to her left, then a bounce pass between both defenders' legs to Kelsey Mitchell. Mitchell catches it, layup, and one. The footage is less than 2 minutes long, but it contains more highlights than some players produce in an entire season. And the Fever released it intentionally. This is a warning shot, one league analyst said. The Fever are telling the rest of the WNBA, we're healthy, we're connected, and we're coming. The footage has been viewed millions of times. Fans are dissecting every play. Coaches are studying every set. Players are sharing their reactions on social media. And the consensus is unanimous. The Indiana Fever look unstoppable.
The training camp footage is impressive. The logo threes, the no-look passes, the ankle-breaking crossovers. But here's what makes the video truly terrifying for the rest of the league. The chemistry. Let me explain what I mean. In past seasons, when the Fever released practice footage, you could see the hesitation, the uncertainty, players learning each other's tendencies, figuring out where to be and when. This footage? Different story. Watch the way Aliyah Boston sets screens for Caitlin Clark. She's not just standing there waiting for contact. She's reading the defense, adjusting her angle, timing her roll perfectly. That's not something you learn in a week. That's trust. That's repetition. That's two players who have developed a sixth sense about each other. Watch the way Sophie Cunningham cuts baseline when Clark drives. She doesn't wait for the pass. She knows it's coming. She's already moving to the open spot. That's not coaching. That's chemistry. Watch the way Nneka Ogwumike, a future Hall of Famer who just joined the team, fits into the offense like she's been there for years. She's not forcing anything. She's not stepping on toes. She's finding her spots and letting the game come to her. That's not luck. That's leadership. That's a veteran who knows how to adapt. You can't fake chemistry, one league scout told a reporter after reviewing the footage. Either players trust each other or they don't. Either they've put in the work or they haven't. This Fever team, they've put in the work. The footage shows players talking to each other, pointing, communicating, adjusting on the fly. It shows Clark deferring to Mitchell in transition. It shows Boston setting up Ogwumike for a post touch. It shows Sophie Cunningham sacrificing her own shot to make an extra pass. These are not the actions of a team that's still figuring things out. These are the actions of a team that knows exactly who they are. And who they are? A problem. The training camp footage doesn't just show Caitlin Clark being Caitlin Clark. It shows something even more frightening. The Fever's new pieces are fitting in perfectly. Let me break down what we saw. First, Nneka Ogwumike. The future Hall of Famer looks like she's been running the Fever's offense for years, not weeks. She's finding her spots in the post. She's stepping out to the mid-range. She's making the extra pass to open shooters. In one sequence, Clark drives, draws 2 defenders, and kicks to Ogwumike on the wing. Ogwumike pump fakes, takes one dribble, and hits a cutting Sophie Cunningham for an easy layup. That's not just talent. That's IQ. That's a veteran who knows how to play with a superstar. Nneka is the perfect fit next to Caitlin, one analyst said. She doesn't need the ball. She doesn't need shots. She just needs to be in the right place at the right time, and she always is. Second, Sophie Cunningham. We already knew Cunningham was Clark's enforcer, the player who would wrap her arms around an opponent's neck to protect her superstar. But the footage shows something new. Cunningham is shooting with more confidence, more range, more consistency. In one clip, Clark drives, kicks to Cunningham in the corner. Cunningham doesn't hesitate. She rises up. Swish. That's the evolution of her game. She's not just a defender anymore. She's a legitimate three-point threat. Third, Raven Johnson. The rookie who was famously waved off by Clark in the 2023 Final Four looks like she belongs, not just on the court, in this system. Johnson is guarding Clark in practice, full court, pressuring the ball, making her work for every possession, and Clark is loving it. Raven is going to make Caitlin better, one team source said. She's not afraid of her. She's not intimidated. She's going to push her every single day. That's the kind of teammate every superstar needs, someone who won't back down, someone who will make practice harder than any game. Fourth, Kelsey Mitchell. We already knew Mitchell was a star, but the footage shows her playing with a level of confidence that should terrify opponents. She's not just spotting up for threes, she's attacking closeouts, she's creating her own shot, she's running the offense when Clark is off the ball. Kelsey has always been a great scorer, one analyst said, but now she's a complete player. She's not just Clark's sidekick, she's a star in her own right. The Fever have always had talent, but this year, they have something different. They have depth, they have chemistry, they have players who know their roles and execute them perfectly. And that's what makes the training camp footage so terrifying. It's not just Clark, it's everyone around her.
The training camp footage has the entire WNBA buzzing. But perhaps the most telling reactions are coming from the people who know the game best. The coaches. Let me share what some league insiders are saying about the Fever's practice video, because their observations reveal just how dangerous this team could be. One Eastern Conference coach, speaking anonymously, told a reporter, "I've been coaching in this league for 15 years. I've seen great teams. I've seen talented teams. I've never seen chemistry like this before the season even starts. Usually, it takes months for players to trust each other like this. The Fever have it already. That's scary." Another coach from the Western Conference focused on Clark specifically. She's different this year, not just her game, her presence. She's commanding the floor like a 10-year veteran. She's not just scoring and passing, she's organizing, she's directing, she's making sure everyone is in the right place. That's not something you can teach. That's leadership. A third coach, who has faced the Fever multiple times, was even more direct. The rest of the league is in trouble, plain and simple. The Fever have the best player. They have depth, they have veterans, they have chemistry, and they have something to prove. That's a championship formula. But not everyone is ready to crown the Fever just yet. One coach cautioned, "Practice is practice. Games are different. When the lights come on, when the crowd is screaming, when the other team is taking cheap shots, that's when you find out what you're made of. The Fever look great on tape, but they have to do it when it matters." That's fair. Practice footage doesn't guarantee championships. The regular season is a grind. The playoffs are a different beast. But here's the thing about the Fever's practice footage that has coaches worried. It's not just the highlights. It's the little things, the communication, the positioning, the defensive rotations, the way players help each other without being asked. Those are the things that win games in May, June, July, August, and September. And the Fever are already doing them in April. Chemistry is the hardest thing to build in sports. You can't buy it, you can't fake it, You have to earn it. And the Fever have earned it faster than any team I've ever seen. The coaches are watching. They're taking notes. They're trying to figure out how to beat a team that looks this good this early. And honestly, most of them don't have an answer.
So where does this leave us? The Indiana Fever dropped training camp footage that has the entire WNBA asking the same question. Is this even fair? Caitlin Clark is pulling up from the logo like it's a layup. Aliyah Boston is catching lobs she never could before. Nneka Ogwumike looks like she's been running this offense for years. Sophie Cunningham is shooting with confidence and range. Raven Johnson is pushing Clark in practice. Kelsey Mitchell is playing like a star who knows she belongs. The chemistry is undeniable. The talent is overwhelming. The coaches are worried. The fans are excited. The rest of the league is terrified. But here's the truth that nobody's talking about. The footage is just footage. Practice is just practice. The real test comes when the season starts, when the lights are brightest, when the other team is taking cheap shots, when the refs are swallowing their whistles, when the pressure is at its peak. That's when we'll find out what this Fever team is made of. I've seen great practice teams fall apart in games, one coach cautioned. Chemistry in practice doesn't always translate to chemistry under pressure. The Fever have to prove it when it matters. That's fair, but here's the counter-argument. The Fever have already proven something. They've proven that they're committed, that they're bought in, that they're willing to put in the work. Chemistry doesn't happen by accident. It happens when players trust each other, when they sacrifice for each other, when they hold each other accountable. The Fever are doing all of that in April, before the season even starts. That's not nothing. That's everything. This team is different, one league source said. You can feel it, the energy, the focus, the belief. They know they're good. They know they can win, and they're not afraid to say it. So what comes next? The preseason starts soon. Then the regular season. Then the playoffs. The Fever will face adversity. Every team does. Injuries, losing streaks, controversies, doubt. How they respond will define their season. But if the training camp footage is any indication, they're ready. Not just to compete, to dominate. The rest of the league has been warned. The Indiana Fever are coming, and they look unstoppable. So here's what I need from you. If you made it to the end of this video, you just watched a championship contender take shape. The Indiana Fever dropped training camp footage that has the entire WNBA on notice. Caitlin Clark is healthy. The chemistry is real. The pieces fit. Now they have to prove it. Subscribe, hit that bell icon, because when the season starts and the Fever take the court for the first time, you're going to want to be here to watch the fireworks. The footage is out. The secret is revealed. Now the league has to deal with it. I'll see you in the next one.